Right there, folks. This basically video is a response to, well, a sort of follow-up video to Slavery Rant, which is a video I did a few months ago. Now, someone on that video posted several comments. They're called Zeragito, and as soon as I read their comments, I wanted to make a response, and I recorded a response, and it was like 25 minutes long. And I've gone back and tried to edit it several times, re-record it, and I just can't fix it, so I put it off for about 2 months. But I'm finally making this video. Hopefully it's not too long. Basically, in Slavery Rant, I said, that people of today shouldn't be made to apologise for or pay, or be made to feel guilty for the sins of our forebears who were involved in slavery. And basically what I'm going to do in this video is respond to Zeragito's comments. I'm going to read their comments out and then I'm going to respond to them. Okay. Zeragito says, if you can't apologise for your history because, quote, it had nothing to do with you, your granddad, blah 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 blah, then you can't be proud of it at the same time, because none of that had anything to do with you either, right? Unless you're a hypocrite, that is. Okay. A bit sassy, but let me say this, okay. Say your granddad, or your great-granddad, whatever, was someone really great, like Charles Darwin or someone. It would be natural to feel proud of them. Likewise, if your great-granddad was Adolf Hitler, or someone like that, again, it would probably be quite natural to feel very ashamed. The question isn't whether it's natural to feel ashamed or proud of your forebears or your nation's achievements. The idea, what I said quite explicitly in my video was, is it right that people should be made to feel guilty? Is it right that people ought to feel guilty? Should people be made to pay money, reparations or compensation? I disagree with that. So Zeragito goes on. But even if you try to be consistent and deny having anything to do with your nation's past, whether good or bad, you may not be a hypocrite, but you'd be an idiot nonetheless. Because why you are who you are and have what you have goes far beyond what your mum and dad did and how much they gave you for your weekly allowance. That made me laugh when I read it, because it's so unbelievably over the top rude. It's ridiculous. There's a certain level of rudeness or whatever, and it kind of pisses you off, but then beyond that it just makes you laugh because it's just so stupid. Look, who said that I've got nothing to do with my nation's history? What? Obviously slavery in many respects was good for Britain. The history of the world, of your family, of your country, etc. affects today. I mean, who's denying that? I never denied that. In fact, I explicitly stated that we were involved and it's wrong. It was wrong then, it's wrong now. What's the problem? I'm not trying to have nothing to do with my history. I'm saying it's morally wrong to apologise for something you didn't do. In fact, it's stupid to. It's a meaningless apology. And it's also wrong to make people feel guilty and to also try and force people to pay for something they didn't do wrong. I don't understand what's difficult about that point to grasp. Anyway, Zeragito goes on. Owning up to one's past as a nation is a universal principle. I'm not trying to absolve or single out anyone here. I can understand you find it to identify and relate this national heritage of guilt and pride to yourself, given your highly muddled understanding of history, attested by your comparison of a relatively modern heritage of Britain with that of medieval and ancient peoples who are very hard to trace today. Whatever, look. Owning up to one's past as a nation. In my video I explicitly stated that Britain was one of the biggest empires in the world, that the world's ever seen. Possibly, I think, maybe the biggest, whatever, who cares. But the point is, slavery was wrong. We were a big player in slavery. It was wrong then, it's wrong now. I didn't deny it. I explicitly said that. Who's trying to deny their nation's history? I don't understand what you're talking about, Zeragito. And it's not just you, but lots of people make these sorts of comments, and I can't quite get my head round it. If you listened to what I was saying, if I can be so bold, you would know that I'm not denying my nation's history. As far as your other point, that we can sort of trace a lot of the time who slaveholders were and the rest of it, doesn't change the fact that it doesn't change the fact that how to phrase this? Well, basically, as I just said, that it's wrong and stupid to apologise for something you didn't do. It's wrong to make people feel guilty for something they didn't do. It's wrong to make people pay for something that they didn't do. It's ridiculous. Let me give an example, at the risk of stretching how long this video is. If you're standing on a street and some bloke comes up to you and mugs you and takes your money, and there's a woman like 200-300 yards away, she has nothing to do with it, but she sees this scene. You're left on the floor, the mugger runs away. The woman comes up to you screaming, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, forgive me, forgive me. I didn't mean to do that to you, please take all my money, take everything I have, I'm so guilty, I can't take it. Oh, why did I do that to you?" You'd say, "What, are you involved? Is he your husband?" "No, I don't know who he is, but I was on the same street as him. Therefore, I'm liable too." So clearly, this woman's crazy. The same logic applies in this situation. Zurigita goes on and says Britain's colonial heritage is easy to trace, the survivors of slaves, blah blah blah, whereas with the Normans and Romans, they're long gone, the victims avenged gruesomely, etc. Well, I don't know if their victims are avenged gruesomely, etc. I mean, it took hundreds and hundreds of years for Englishmen to become equals in their own realm again. No one was ever avenged gruesomely, so that's rubbish. And as far as heritage, well, we've got such thing as DNA testing and genetics. You can show what a person's ancestors are, so that's crap too. Of course, the point of it was, my point of my Norman and Roman examples were, again, it's wrong to make people feel bad for things they didn't do, it's wrong to make them pay for things they didn't do, and so on. Thank God this was shorter than my previous 2 attempts at this response.